What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the first episode of the Wolf of Crypto. I'm here to go ahead and bring you the best news that you may encounter, all the latest and greatest tidbits of information that will help you on your trades. I'm here to do that for you. Make sure you chime in every time to go ahead and take a look at the information we have for today. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump straight into it. The stock market today, not just the cryptocurrency market, but also the stock market, is bleeding. As you can tell right here, everything from Bitcoin, oops, it looks like Bitcoin has fallen beyond the $7,000 threshold that, at least we thought we could maintain. Ethereum looks to almost have cut its market cap by 50% in the past week. And as you can tell, everything right here is bleeding. Everything right here is bleeding. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be too much light at the end of the tunnel. Well, here we go. X play at number 85, up 36.65%. Rather high circulation, and it could be a new coin getting a little bit of a hype because it's new. It's listed on here. Same thing with Siren Labs token. Not too familiar with it, but by and large, everything seems to be in the red. Now we've been familiar with this sentiment for the past 2 or 3 weeks now. Everything's been going down. People have been calling it a correction. I think we can now call it what it is, and which is a crash. We're down. We've lost more than 50% of the market cap since about a month ago. But everything has a way of coming back. If we go back to, let's start right here from 2014, and let's go all the way till 2015. So if you see right here in the start of the year, right around January and February, it was pretty high. And as you can tell, in the first quarter of 2014, it kind of went down and then went back up again, but went down overall right around the time of next year's January 15th. So about a year's time. Let's go ahead and look at the next interval from 2015 to 2016. As you can tell, the year maybe it started off a little bit higher, or it actually was a little bit lower if you take into account the last year. So if you go down and you look at this, it also went down even more so in the first quarter of 2015. Some consolidation goes up a little bit around summertime and then really starts to take off towards fourth quarter. It has a little peak right here, a little crevice right here again. It falls and then it continues to gain steam all the way until the end of the year in December in 2015. So let's go from the beginning of the year from 2016 to the end of the year of 2016. Let's see how that goes. So the year once again starts off a little bit low right after the beginning of the year. After January, starts going down, picks up sometime around summer, then goes back down, consolidates, and really takes off again during fourth quarter. As you can tell, November 16th all the way to December 16th and so forth, starts to peak. Now let's do one last observation from 2017 to 2018. So what happens here is, as you can tell from January 2017, it was around 16 billion US dollars. So as you can tell, pretty low, especially in comparison to the end of the year, in which we got all the way up to, 765, close to 800 billion dollars. But as you can tell, the same the same trend continues to go on. It's low in the beginning of the year. Well, you do have these pitfalls, these anomalies. Well, not anomalies, but just your normal intraday highs and lows. But if you go right here, 16 billion, which was a lot at the beginning of last year, nothing in comparison to the end of the year, fourth quarter, where we've seen this gigantic bull rally. So if we extrapolate this and then we go back, let's go back to the beginning of the year with 2018, all the way until right now. We started off really good. Something similar to the previous years. Started off high towards the end of the year and the beginning of the year, but then as you can tell, we just precipitously kept on going down, And now we seem to be in a, some people might call it a correction. I would like to consider this a bear trend. Complete crash, which would by and large mimic the same behaviors that our normal financial markets are exhibiting right now. If we take a look right here, as we were talking about CNBC, the stock market has crashed 1,500 points today. It's the largest or the worst intraday fall in market history. So that is pretty significant if we take into account everything such as the Great Depression and Black Friday, in which stocks plunged. Today's fall is significant. The first thing that we should talk about is the Dow, which is one of the markets in the stock market. The Dow and the Nasdaq has been also precipitously going down. Maybe not as a cliff fall as cryptocurrency has, but as you can tell, it has not been an upward trend. Now, one thing that I do want to point out every day that we have a video, I will point out a new company or a new project that's coming into play. I was browsing through Yahoo Finance and I came across Lino, which apparently is launching its own version of YouTube on the blockchain. Now, I'm bringing this to your attention because Lino could very well replace YouTube within the next 5 to 10 years. If you're privy with YouTube history, you'll know that they're only about 10 to 11 years old, and the cryptocurrency market right now is only about 7 years old. I like to believe that a lot of Chinese companies have a lot of venture capitalism behind them. Money is no object to them. They want to go ahead and see their project succeed, and will pump it until it does. This is very similar to Tron. Now, because Tron wants to go ahead and uh, monetize entertainment platforms such as YouTube or the internet and give the money back to curators and creators. So this would be a Tron competitor, but maybe focusing on a small niche, which is still relatively large in the YouTube market. YouTube pays pennies on the dollar to its curators and content providers. I'm sure if they were making more money, they would go ahead and venture off and take their content on all of their followers, which is what's important here. The advertising, that's where the advertising dollars come from. Would take all their follows into another project that's paying them a lot more. 10 times worth what they're currently getting would force YouTube to go ahead and respond and recognize it as a good counter to YouTube. Now, today's video was our first installment in the long history of the Wolf of Crypto. I urge you to go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We'll be active and we'll be pumping out videos every day, multiple videos sometimes, hopefully. But if there's any news, if there's any breaking news, you can rest assured you can come here and I will go ahead and provide that for you. Please subscribe.